So if you want more, give, right? That's the law, that's the principle. If we want to multiply something, we must expand it within our own consciousness, offer it up and offer it out, and allow it to be pressed down, multiplied, shaken together, running over, yes? So that's also part of the kind of American dream or the cultural norm now, right? Is to get more, right? More, more, more. More is better. So if I do more with my time, I'll get more stuff, I'll have more, I'll be able to experience more. Sound like I'm going in a good direction here? There's a little bit of a paradox, is there not? This concept that if I want more, give, and then this rat race we put ourselves into, where we think if I just work harder, maybe I can save enough money to live as long as I don't know how long I'm going to live, because I don't know how much it's going to cost when I get older, and I don't know what things are going to look like. But if I keep working so hard, maybe I can figure it out somehow and keep going, keep doing, keep getting, keep giving, keep expanding, keep, so that maybe there'll be enough so that once and for all I can catch up and be ready or be done. Maybe if I keep trying to just nurture all these relationships and I just keep giving to them, keep giving, if I keep answering every single phone call, every single email, if I keep going and I keep doing it, then maybe I'll feel like I have so much love in my life and I'll feel centered and then I'll be done. Just maybe if I keep just doing more. Because I've been taught somewhere that more equals more. And it certainly does it not? But it doesn't always equal more of the things we're looking for. That's the funny thing with principles. That's the funny thing with understanding a law versus simply blindly applying a law. Did anyone see the film The Secret? A great film. The film The Secret talked about the law of attraction. That in our minds, our thoughts, our emotions actually create our reality. That in fact, through this process of thinking, ideating, we create a field of vision, we create a field of creation. And it's not only that life is coming to us, but life is coming through this field. It is being activated from inside and mirrored on the outside. But there were some criticisms of this film. And the criticisms were that if you didn't take it to a depth, if you didn't take it deeply into your consciousness and ask for the deepest truth present in this principle, you might find yourself riding these rides of life and end up going, wow, I've demonstrated all of this, I've manifested all of this, and I still feel empty. I have so much money now, but I don't feel wealthy. I have so many people in my life, but I don't feel love or loved. Because there is a depth to these principles, a depth to these practices. In fact, every law is only a working law to the extent that it is dedicated to the highest consciousness and the highest application of that law. It's like an electrical socket, and we hear that analogy all the time, but you can stick a fork in it or you can stick a generator in it. The law is the law, it will work, but to the extent we know the dedication of it, the extent to which we understand how to utilize it, is the extent to which we feel like we are co-creating heaven on earth. We feel like we're co-creating our reality. So I'm sure there are many here among us that have thought, let me try on this principle. Give more. If I want more money, give my money. If I want more time, give my time. If I want more love, give love. But then we can get stuck. We can get stuck in a misapplication of the law. The part that is key, the part that is perfect, is the part that teaches us to go against the human condition. Because the human condition says if I want more, I need to what? Hold on, right? If I want more, If I want more money, what should I do with my money? Hold on to it, right? I mean, really, if you all hold on to your money for 1 week, just hold on to it. Are you going to have more at the end of the week? If I want more time, well, let me reserve my time. Let me store it up. Let me save it up. This principle is to remind us that no, that is the human condition, and that's what we think. But we are an inlet and an outlet of God. We are a circulatory system, just like everything in our universe. And we circulate good, we circulate God. And you can't hold on to God. You can't hold on to the grand overall design. You can't hold on to good. You can't hold on to life force and expect to keep generating it, magnifying it, and multiplying it. In fact, you have to circulate it. Amen? So where do we get caught up? Where do we get confused? Where do we get stuck or limited with this principle and the application of it? We get stuck, we know we're stuck when we arrive at overwhelm. Anyone felt that? When we arrive at looking around and saying, it's too much. Anyone felt that? Too much. Overwhelmed. Does anyone feel like there's any areas in their lives where they may be leaking money? Really? Leaking money? You know, I signed up one time for, getting business cards or something through somewhere, and I was very bad. I checked my credit card bill, but there were some little charges that were so small, and they came from such odd little names that it took me a long, I'm not even going to tell you how long because you'll be scared. It took me quite a while before I thought, what is that $1.99? What is that $3.99 that at first I didn't care about? And it was, do you know what I'm saying? Those online charges that if you click in the place that you didn't think you would click, like I clearly didn't sign up for it, it sends you this little fee and you subscribe to something, right? And you were just trying to get business cards. There are a lot of ways we leak our money. There are a lot of ways we leak our time. There are a lot of ways in which we're pulled in every which direction, all in the name of trying to be more, trying to do more, trying to give more. So we must beware of simplifying that law and that principle and looking more deeply into it. Because there is a key, and with every practice, once we have divine understanding, once we bring it into consciousness, meditate on it, pray on it, we get revelations that simplify sometimes oversimplified laws. So our job is to apply the law, yes, but it is first to understand the law and then to refine our understanding of the law. So if I want more money, give more money. If I want more time, give my time. I know that it's not true that if I hold on to these things, I'll generate more. I know that I am a circulatory system. I am one with the infinite universe. So as I give into that universe, so do I receive. I know all of these principles. Then why do we get caught up in relationships that don't feed us, in jobs that drain us, in systems, in families, in culture, in activities, in financial situations? Fill in the blanks. Can you feel the energy just going, ugh? Fill in the blanks. Are we ready for the key? Are we ready to lift the veil off of the seeming, I don't know how I'm practicing this principle, I don't know how I'm getting here, over and over again? Well, it's because spending doesn't lead to more of these things. It's not just the spending of time, money, love. It's not just the giving it that leads to more of it. That leads to more, but not necessarily more of what we're looking for. But what does lead to more of what we're looking for? If you get a good financial advisor, they'll tell you in one instant, if you want more money, would they say, spend your money? They'll say, invest your money. So if we want more time, how can we invest our time? How can we transform our consciousness that every time I am spending my time, I am recognizing that this is a holy investment. A holy investment. When I spend my money, this is a big one. Everything, whatever I'm spending it on, I am circulating consciousness, I am circulating support, I am circulating my energy that says, grow this, grow this, grow this. Yes, and in this way, let everything else multiply. Am I consciously investing my money? Putting it to that which I value, that which I consider sacred. What about my time and my conversations and my love? Can we be honest with ourselves about where we find ourselves in this moment and what we're spending our time on, what we're investing our energy in? Can we commit this week, really, to take a look at the conversations we're having as if they're not our own? Listen to each phone call. Listen to the internal dialogue. Listen to that which is attracted to us, and listen to how we show up to it, how we give back to it. Because the problem is never in the law. The problem is in the application. A good financial advisor will tell us to invest our money. A good relationship counselor will tell you it's not how much you give, it's not how much time you spend together, it's not how many conversations you have, right? It's the quality of them. Because when we practice, when we give, it's not a dress rehearsal. It is our lives. It is our life force. And we are saying, may this be multiplied. May this be fruitful. May this become more. Pretty big responsibility, isn't it? A pretty big responsibility. Because it makes us become aware. I think one of the best pieces of advice was in this book that we are just completing. Congratulations to all of us. It's called The Handbook for the Spirit by a bunch of authors. And this, I think, is just one of the most profound assignments in the book. You can start scanning your mind if you've read the book and you think you know which assignment I'm going to say. But I really think this one is the one. If we could only get this, we will have arrived. Are you ready? Waiting with bated breath? If we only get this, we'll have arrived. Thich Nhat Hanh said in his chapter, there are so many things that can provide us with peace, and he gives this assignment. Next time you take a shower or a bath, I suggest you hold your big toes in mindfulness. I suggest you hold your big toes in mindfulness. I suggest you hold your big toes in mindfulness. Profound or ridiculous? How often do we pay attention to our big toes? He goes on to say, your big toe is supporting you. How often do you pay attention to it? Do you pick it up? Do you bless the soles of it? Do you say, beloved toe, you are healthy, you are well? Because there are people that don't have that big toe and that it's not working for them. Do you give attention to that which is working? That silly little practice, the first time I read that, I thought, what in the world is that? Like, really, let's all just do it. Give attention to your big toe. See how silly you feel. All right, give attention to my big toe. What if I were to be able to be that mindful of things that I am consciously and completely not mindful of at all? If I were able to look at what I'm giving and what I'm circulating in the world, like how much my cable bill costs compared to how much I invest in the future of my child's education, right? I mean, we live in a world where people constantly gripe and complain and whine that there's not enough, yet we are all saturated in so much. Is this not true? So there is no problem in God. There is no problem in source. There is no issue there. The opportunity is in our focus. The opportunity is in our dedication. The opportunity is in our becoming awake. The opportunity is in our big toe that we're walking around with on our foot all the time. There's the opportunity. Unity teaches us the greatest teaching, which is to rely on spirit. To rely on spirit and to become consciously aware. Consciously aware. Aware, intentional, and conscious. In our book, Thich Nhat Hanh goes on to say this: thinking is important, but most of our thinking is useless. Thinking is important, but most of our thinking is useless. What else can we apply that to? Let's look at our lives really honestly, really authentically. My love is important, but where am I giving it to? Am I giving it to places it's prospering, it's multiplying? Where is my money going to? Are most of the places I'm giving my money, is it mostly useless? What about my time? How am I spending my time? Is most of it prospering, that which I want to create, learning, expanding mindfully, or is most of it useless? And how might my life change if I make a commitment to expand mindfully rather than just expanding? Have we not had enough of general expansion? General expansion, right? We have come to a point in the collective consciousness where we can recognize very clearly that expansion itself is not necessarily good. In fact, governments are shifting their form of focus, saying that it's not how much that matters, it's the quality. It's the quality of life. It's the quality of peace in people's hearts. It's the quality that we give. Every dollar isn't the same dollar. A blessed dollar is worth far more than one that is given in reservation. It's about consciousness. Most of our thinking is useless. How much of our giving is unconscious? How much of our time and our love is spent furthering and prospering and expanding expansions that then we turn around and say, I could take less of that. I could take less of that. So let's take a deep breath in together. And breathe into this moment. And I invite you to close your eyes and just get in touch with what am I giving my time to? What am I giving my time to? And with a non-judgmental, open awareness, just simply look through your week and your day. What am I giving my time to? Because God, the source of my being, the source of all life, gave more than enough time, needed and necessary to do all the things needed to be done by me. What am I giving my time to? Do I ever hear myself saying there's not enough time? Do I walk around tired and not make enough time to sleep? And is there anything keeping me from that, or is that just a story? Is there anything keeping me from spending my time nurturing loving relationships? Spending my time dedicated to spiritual practice, spending my time in those activities and those things that make me come alive, that bring me joy. Now just sweep through the financial. Is there anywhere that I see that I'm unconsciously leaking money rather than powerfully and consciously prospering that which I want to see grow in the world, that which I want to see grow in my life? Is there any story I'd like to release around the concept of abundance and whether or not it's mine to have? Is there any way that I could circulate more consciously and multiply the good that I have? Take a moment to breathe through relationships and love. If I look at the value of my whole life, is there anything for me to act upon, to do, to see, or to know with regards to my love relationships, my heart connections, creating conscious relationships? And we're not just talking about intimate relationships, we're talking about all relationships, because every relationship is a holy relationship, is a relationship of the divine. Is it maybe possible that I am spreading myself too thin in certain areas, or giving in one field, but not deepening a connection? Is there a way, a place, I may be able to deepen my connection with myself, my source, and the love within another person? And then with a deep inhale and exhale, I invite you into the consciousness of commitment to expand mindfully. I'll know this affirmation and then we'll know it together. Claiming my birthright, I live freely, love abundantly, and expand mindfully. I invite you to first know this affirmation with your eyes closed in your heart, and then we'll open our eyes and we'll know it again together. Claiming my birthright together. Claiming my birthright. I live freely, love abundantly, and expand mindfully. Now let's take a deep breath in, open our eyes, and bring this inner affirmation to the outer world, making it manifest in form. Claiming my birthright. Claiming my birthright. I live freely, love abundantly, and expand mindfully. Mother Teresa, in her chapter, which was the last chapter, talks about the consciousness of being one with God, going home to God. She says, we are going to be judged on what we were to each other, what we did for each other, and especially how much love we put in that. It's not how much we give, but how much love we put into the doing. How much love we put into the doing. The way we show our love of source, the way we honor the source, the infinite, that life force, is demonstrated in what we give, how we show up, how we give, how conscious we are that we are an inlet and an outlet of the divine, and that we are here bringing consciousness onto earth. So are we ready to make it more focused, make it more intentional, make it more deliberate, to pull back our frantic energies and to identify what nurtures us, to identify what we would like to see grow on the planet, not just what we would like to see, what we are committed to seeing grow in our beings and in our universe. Are we ready to make time for what matters? Because God has already given the time. God has already given the resources. God has already given the love, all of the time, all of the resources, everything needed and necessary is already right here available. But because we are the people of love, it is ours to be more aware of bringing more heaven onto earth. We are the people of love. Namaste.